From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News Weekend Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Saturday edition of the Fbx Evening News. I'm Mike Fussell. Our top story tonight. 4 passengers survived a Friday afternoon small plane crash on a hillside in southeast Alaska, but the pilot died when the aircraft went down. A Cessna 207 operated by Wings of Alaska as a regularly scheduled flight from Juneau to Hoonah departed the capital city a little after 1 p.m. The plane crashed into a hillside at about the 1,300-foot level just north of Point Howard. State troopers identified the pilot as 45-year-old Fariah Patterson of Alabama. The passengers were 57-year-old Humberto Herrera and his 60-year-old wife Sandra, both of Juneau, 15-year-old Jose Vasquez of Puerto Rico, and 64-year-old Ernestine Hanlon of Hoonah. A survivor was able to call 911, which in addition to an automated emergency beacon is how rescue crews learned there was a crash.
The cause of the crash is going to be investigated by the NTSB. They do have personnel who are currently flying in to conduct that investigation. From the Coast Guard side of the house, our thoughts are with the friends and family of the victim. It was an extremely tragic event.
As of Friday, wildfires had burned 4.7 million acres in Alaska, and the cost of fighting the blaze is adding up quickly. A total of 679 fires have been documented by the Bureau of Land Management so far this year. 23 fires that have burned 1 million acres are currently being fought, and the rest are being monitored. The bills are still coming in, but so far about $48 million has been spent on fighting the fires.
We're on pace for a possible record year, so that's obviously going to be, we're spending more this year than we have in previous years, just based on the resources that we've had to bring in.
After 2 failed attempts, an Nenana man has been arraigned in Fairbanks Superior Court. 23-year-old Tobin Hugney Farr pled not guilty via telephone to a single count of arson from Fairbanks Correctional Center. According to the court documents, Hugney Farr set multiple structures, a chicken coop, and 2 beehives on fire and then fled the scene. The fires were set during a burn ban, and forestry crews were dispatched to the area in Nenana. Luckily, the fires were contained after helicopters used Bambi buckets to dump water on the blazes. When troopers went to contact Hugney Farr, he was reportedly covered in ash from what is believed to be the fires. Trial for his case will be held later this year. And a Fairbanks woman who led authorities on a high-speed chase, now charged with a felony escape, was in court this week to plead not guilty in her charges. Shaylin Atla is said to have walked away from the North Star Detention Center. Atla reportedly stole an F-150 truck and led authorities on a high-speed chase, which ended after troopers deployed spike strips to stop the truck in North Pole. She was faced 7 charges with that case. Atla, who has 3 prior charges of violating release along with 13 prior convictions, will be held on $10,000 bail plus the condition of a court-approved third-party custodian. Trial for her case is set for September. And not guilty pleas Tuesday for a Fairbanks man accused of threatening a woman with a samurai sword. Simon Grotto is charged with felony second-degree assault, theft, and other charges related to the incident. According to court records, Grotto attacked his girlfriend after a night of drinking when he found out she had sex with another man. He is accused of beating and choking the woman and holding the sword over her head in a threatening manner. Police later found his vehicle rolled over in North Pole, where they located both the victim's computer and the sword allegedly used in the assault. A trial for his case was set for September. And a Fairbanks grand jury has indicted a man accused of sexually assaulting an unidentified victim. 24-year-old Richard Neiswire was indicted on a single count of first-degree sexual assault. According to the indictment, Neiswire sexually assaulted the victim in May of 2014. Little detail about the charges has been filed in Fairbanks Superior Court. Earlier this week, Neiswire pleaded not guilty to the charges. He is currently being held at Fairbanks Correctional Center without bail. And one event at the World Eskimo Indian Olympics had little to do with physical activity and more to do with Alaska Native tradition. Participants took place in the muktuk eating contest. Muktuk is a traditional Inuit, Eskimo, and Chukchi meal. It's frozen whale skin and blubber. Thursday, several participants and volunteers were asked to bring their own knife and dig in. Muktuk is a subsistence food for Alaska Natives. It's traditionally eaten raw. Participant Donna Rexford got to declare herself a first-place winner after eating her proportion of muktuk before others. She also won first place at the same contest last year. Rexford says she's been eating muktuk for as long as she's been alive.
I'd just like to say you have to respect the whale, honor the whale. It'll come to you. It's a blessing. I've been very privileged to have something. My children eat it. You know, it's like Eskimo candy.
And when we come back, organizers around Fairbanks are collecting winter apparel for children of all ages. We'll have the details. Also, dentists and volunteers from around the state are combining their efforts to provide free dental care to up to 1,000 interior residents. Those stories and more when we return. And welcome back. Dentists and their professional teams are coming together to put a large humanitarian mission in the state of Alaska. Dr. Heather Willis, Chris Willis, and Shannon Vargas are organizing this year's effort to bring the second annual Alaska Mission of Mercy to Fairbanks. On August 7th and 8th, up to 1,000 interior residents will be able to receive free dental care at the Carlson Center on a first-come, first-served basis. As the event nears, almost 400 individuals have committed to volunteering, but even more are needed. No dentist experience is required. Volunteers are asked to help check people in, set up, and break down. Volunteers are asked to register online by July 20th at www.akmom.org. Dr. Willis says last year in Anchorage, they gave $1.2 million away in free dental care, and she's expecting to bring that opportunity to the interior.
The focus is going to be getting them out of pain and infection. I would say at minimum we need at least 30 to 40 more dentists. And then for volunteers for community side, helping patients get around the clinic, registering them, helping them go through a survey at the end. We still need a good 100, 150 community volunteers.
And the owner of Arctic Travelers is preparing for big changes in the way she'll run her business and also building in her store. The Arctic Travelers owner, Angelica Kreiner, signed paperwork this week that makes her the owner of the Stroker building on Cushman Street. It's a big leap for the small business owners. Kreiner took ownership of the Arctic Travelers store in 2007. The gift shop focuses on selling Alaska artwork and trinkets for customers. The Stroker building includes Arctic Travelers and the shop next door, TCR's Ivory, which is going out of business. Kreiner says she wants to update the look of the building to match the style of the Golden Heart City.
We have yet to see, give me maybe another year and let's see what next summer is going to bring. With all the construction going on, it's kind of a very interesting period of time.
And local organizers are staying one step ahead of winter by collecting apparel for children. Donations are now being collected through August 15th for children's winter clothing as part of a winter gear drive. The drive is co-hosted by the University of Alaska Fairbanks 4-H military partnerships and the Fairbanks Families and Best Beginnings programs. The clothing will be given out September 12th during the Best Beginnings Family Health Fair in Fairbanks. Items such as gloves, hats, snow pants, and more can be delivered to a number of locations around the Fairbanks area, such as Walgreens, Mac Credit Union, the Carlson Center, and more. 4-H agent Candy Derenfield says apparel should be cleaned and in good condition.
We're at the Children's Museum, and this is a drop-off location as well. And we also have partnered with a couple organizations out at Eielson Air Force Base. If there's other locations that want to be part of this, we can add you to the list. You can start with contacting me. I'm at the university at 474-1909 with Cooperative Extension with the 4-H program.
Lately, the Fairbanks area has been overrun with professional artists, and with good reason. They're all part of an annual summertime event that focuses on the arts. Mike Schultz has more.
The Fairbanks Summer Arts Festival started as a jazz festival in 1980, and founder Joe Scott had a vision of bringing the arts to Fairbanks. Since then, it has blossomed. One festival official says it is very rewarding.
The favorite thing about my job is when festival finally rolls around, I get to see over 1,000 registrants come out and be a part of festival, and all the different genres come together and create a performance or a new piece of music. That's really cool for me to see. I've been doing this is my 5th festival, And each year I'm so surprised by what our artists come up with for the performances and what our registrants can do in 2 weeks. It's very, very amazing.
The program brings in over 100 guest artists, and many have been here before for other festivals, and they never get tired of coming back.
First of all, it's a great blessing to be able to travel as part of your work to destinations that you might not come to otherwise, like Fairbanks, Alaska, which is beautiful. And the people up here are really warm and friendly, and they're just wonderful to work with. So they're great hosts, terrific hospitality. The festival is run very well. I always have a great time when I'm here.
One registrant who has been returning for the past 7 years says she looks forward to the festival every year, not only to hone her skills as a steel pan player, but for another reason.
Because it's fun. It's really fun. It's high intensity because we work really hard for these 2 weeks, but it's just fun. And we have really excellent artists that come up, and they just make our playing good. You know, they fine-tune us.
So if you're looking for some professional entertainment, you've still got another week to see a variety of professionals each day at either the Morris Thompson Visitor Center or the Golden Heart Plaza. Check out the schedule at their website, fsaf.org. Mike Schultz reporting.
All right, up next we'll have the latest from WEO, and we'll also have results from a Viking-themed race. Those stories and more after the break. Welcome back, sports fans. Mike Fussell here with your latest local action. Without a doubt, athletes are keeping busy throughout the interior this week. The World Eskimo Indian Olympics, also known as WEO, are in town. The women's blanket toss finals took place at the Carlson Center last night. Athletes strive to jump higher than their competitors while maintaining style and balance in the air. A handful of volunteers helped make all of that possible by pulling the blanket, which is made of either seal or walrus skin. The 2-foot high kick was the event that was next, and it was also pretty competitive last night. Participants got a small running start, aiming to hit a hanging ball with both of their feet and stick a successful landing. After each round of competition, the ball was raised several inches higher. Casey Ferguson was last night's 2-foot winner with a kick of 8 feet and 5 inches, just 3 inches away from the world record. Ferguson says he didn't expect to get as high as he did.
I was just looking to come out here and have fun. You know, that's what I look forward to every year. I honestly didn't expect to get up to that height. You know, that's for sure. So, you know, it's just a humbling feeling getting up there again. You know, it was a lot of fun. The crowd really helped a lot. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have been able to get up to where I was at. You know, so they contributed a whole lot.
And the Fairbanks Eclipse soccer clubs are down in the lower 48 for the USA Cup in Blaine, Minnesota. Last night, both teams duked it out against opponents during their first day of the playoffs. The 0-1 girls got shut out by Minnesota's Egan Wave Premier 2-0. Throughout pool play leading up to the bracket, the team went 2-1-0 overall. And the Fairbanks 99 group wasn't able to come out on top either. They would lose it 5-0 against another team from Minnesota in the quarterfinals. And around 165 runners got their blood pumping this morning in this morning's brisk conditions for the 8th annual Run of the Valkyries 8K race. The course started in the heart of Pioneer Park and meandered through town for around a total of 5 miles. It was relatively flat aside from some stretches of terrain in the park. Runners, spectators, and organizers donned Viking garb as a play on the song The Flight of the Valkyries. The race was organized by Opera Fairbanks and is part of the Oostbelly running series. Dylan Nixon Helms came across the finish line first with a time of 27 minutes and 25 seconds. Devin McDowell came in the number 2 spot, just fractions of a second behind him. Nixon Helms, who is headed to UAF in the fall, says McDowell helped push him on the 8K course, which is something he had to adjust to.
I definitely did. You know, I'm not used to running that quick for that distance. You know, my goal race this year was a 10K, and having to cut a couple K off that, I knew I was going to be running a faster mile clip, and it's right up there with my interval pacing, and I have to get used to it because that's what I'm going to be running when I come into the fall season. So it was a good marker for the summer.
And many of the interior's baseball teams are on the road this weekend. The Alaska Gold Panthers took on the Peninsula Oilers last night at the ABL Showcase in Anchorage. Unfortunately for them, the game didn't count in league standings. The matchup would go scoreless for 5.5 straight innings, but the Panthers would tally 2 in the bottom of the 6th. That would seal up the game and give them a 2-0 shutout win. And the Alaska Wild Fairbanks Legion baseball squad took to Loretta French Field in a matchup against Eagle River. They would go on to collect double-digit runs, winning it 20-3. Michael Fitzpatrick had a notable game. He went 3 for 4 with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Ben Hall was on the mound for the Wild. He pitched all 5 innings of the game, which ended early, allowing 3 runs. And that about brings us to the buzzer for sports tonight. We'll have your full weather forecast coming up next. Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you next weekend. And welcome back. It wasn't too nice out there today, but let's see if things are going to be changing in the upcoming week. And today we had a recent high of 73 degrees and a recent low of 52. Our record high in 1940 was 89 degrees. That would be nice to see today. And our record low was 52, and that was in 1959. Our sun rose today at 4:03 a.m., and it's expected to set at 11:50. That gives us a total of 19 hours and 47 minutes of daylight. And overall in Alaska, we take a look here up in north at Barrow, it's 43 degrees. Here in Fairbanks, it's at a solid 55. Down in Bethel, we see temperatures just 1 degree higher than Fairbanks there at 56. 48 for Nome, and in Anchorage, we have 66 degree temperatures and 64 there in Juneau. And take a look at our lower 48 weather. We have 92 degree weather there in Seattle. It looks very nice and sunny, but if you look down towards Los Angeles and Las Vegas area, it's raining and you might be seeing some thunderstorms if you're there. Las Vegas though at 93 degrees, and Phoenix the only one to get into triple digits there at 100 degrees. Washington D.C. is at 88 degrees, New York just 2 degrees below them at 86, and Chicago coming in warmer than both of them at 89 degrees. Miami, it's a little bit rainy down there, but it's all the way at 90 degrees. And looking at our jet stream for today, this is our early week forecast. You can see the jet stream is relatively north, bringing some showers to parts of Canada. And you can see down south, that's making things hot, bringing up hot temperatures all the way through Virginia. Thunderstorms are going to be coming through the Nevada, California area, making things humid though for parts of Mexico and New Mexico itself as well. And Dolores, you have the storm Dolores there coming in towards the shore of California as well. And if we take a look at Alaska, in northern Alaska, you can see it'll be raining all over. We'll have raindrops falling on your head wherever you are in northern Alaska. It'll be 45 degrees up there in Nome, or in Barrow, that is, I'm sorry. 54 degrees in Nome and 67 degrees in Fort Yukon. And to take a look at the interior, what should we expect for weather? Well, it's looking rainy. It's going to be 64 degrees in Fairbanks, and it's going to be 60 in Delta. A little bit of sunshine trying to come through there, but not really coming through. And in Healy, it's going to be 61 degrees with some more cloudy atmosphere and some more rain coming through. And to take a look at the southeast, we have increasing clouds for Juneau and Ketchikan, both coming in at 69 degrees. A little bit cloudy there, but it's still kind of sunny, a little bit better than the interior, so to speak. And to take a look at the southwest, it'll be cloudy for Kodiak and Cold Bay. You should expect showers if you're in Bethel, but Bethel's coming in at about 59 degrees, and as is Cold Bay. And Kodiak, though, a little bit warmer, maybe a little bit more sunshine there, coming in at 67 degrees. And taking a look at the south central area, we'll see partly cloudy skies for south central, and that'll be with Anchorage at a temperature of 71 degrees, Homer at 64, a little bit cloudy there, and Valdez a little bit warmer, but not much, at 66. And next, we'll take a look at today's short-range forecast. Tonight, we'll expect 51-degree temperatures for the overnight low, and showers. Showers tonight continue through like we saw earlier today. And tomorrow, it'll be 66 degrees, and as I said, there'll be continuing showers, heavy rain at times, actually. So that'll be something to keep in mind for your travel plans, or just any plans in general. And for our extended outlook, it's going to start off a little bit chilly there on Monday with 60 degrees, but the rest of the week things are going to be warming up. A little bit cloudy, but not too bad, and relatively stable overnight lows. And that'll do it for weather today. And that'll also wrap up our Saturday edition of the Fbx Evening News. We're glad you could join us. Join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com. And from all of us here at the News Center, have a good night.